What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your guy Rio with the latest episode on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel. And we are brought to you by the Washington football team on the daily on Instagram. Make sure you give them a follow at WFT on the daily on IG. Today, I have two special guests who have started a new podcast, two familiar faces in the Washington content creator community. First, I got my guy hailing all the way from the UK, my guy, Andy Burrows. What's going on, boss?
Rio, pleasure to be with you, my friend. I promise you, I'm not actually in a bunker. I'm just in a hotel with really bad lighting. So don't worry, but I'm good, man. Pleasure to always talk to you, buddy.
Absolutely. And his partner on the bunker, the new Washington Commanders podcast, my boy Freddie Hamm, the business card extraordinaire. What's going on, boss?
What's up, Rio? It's good to be back. It's good to be back at least by voice, not by face.
Hey man, we've missed you, man. Where have you been? Have you been in the bunker the whole time?
I'll tell you what, I've been holding it down with a lot of, you know, quite honestly, just dealing with a lot of personal stuff, and then the podcast that has become this new podcast with me and Andy, which I'm really, really excited about because I feel like I'm born again, in a sense. So it's really, really cool. But at the same time, it's a little bit bittersweet just because, I started it with Maddie Jane, and it was really, really cool what we did. And I'm really going to cherish the show that we had because I really felt that it was very special and unique. So, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I miss Maddie, but I'm really, really excited for what me and Andy are doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss that smooth jazz ASMR, soothing, serene voice of Maddie Jane, but it's all understood, and I can definitely relate when it comes to personal stuff because my life's been in shambles as of late. But let's talk some Washington Commanders football. Is it normal to you yet? Does it sound normal? Does it come off the tongue smoothly yet? What are y'all feeling about the rebrand? Go ahead and start, Andy. I want to know how both of you guys are feeling right now as of February 8th, 2022.
I'm slowly getting there, Rio. It's better than football team, put it that way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's all these people that saying, oh, I don't know. It's all these people saying, oh, they prefer the football team. Go and support someone else. You know what I mean? You don't deserve to support the Commanders. But hey, I'm getting there. My friend. Like I said on our first show the other day, someone asked me what team I supported, and I said, I support the Washington Commanders. And we kind of looked at each other, like both of us, and we were like, who? And, but I'm getting used to it. It's like I said on our show at the start of the week, chapter 1, page 1, day 1, we get to do, how often do you get to say that you get to be there at the very, very beginning of a franchise? Rio, you've got kids, I've got kids. When these kids are older and hopefully following the Washington Commanders, you can explain to them, hey, watch this. I was there day 1 when this all started happening. So it's good to be part of history. I'm okay with the name. It's a name. It's it'll grow on me. Football team eventually grew on me. I didn't particularly like it, but hey, I was more once September got here, and we all start. It's like Rio. We start talking about drafts and we start talking about quarterbacks, and there's always some off-field drama. The name kind of got pushed to the back even when we were called football team. So it's good for now, Rio. And like I said, we can probably ride this name out until the draft. Once the draft starts, once free agency starts, once training camp starts, you know what it's like, buddy. The name will be secondary. It will be everything concentrated on the field. So this will last a few months, my friend. And then, we're back into what we do in Washington, talking about quarterbacks.
Exactly. I mean, I'm already trying to transition into that.
Yeah,
Freddie,
bro.
what are you feeling about the new, man? Give me all your thoughts.
My thoughts on the new name are that it's a name, just like everybody else is saying. I'm kind of indifferent towards it, but I feel like, just like anything else, if the team plays well and we make some good moves, then the least of our worries is going to be the name, So I think we're going to move on pretty quickly from focusing on, it's the Washington Commanders. I will say this, and I agree with a lot of other people whose primary concern was the new look over the name. Because, I mean, honestly, real talk, the 31 other NFL teams, are their names really that good? Like,
no.
Is Dolphins a good name? Is
Packers
Bears a good name? I mean, come on.
Jaguars.
Real. Seriously. So, yeah. So, And I actually think that over time, our name is actually pretty cool because it's not, at least it's not an animal. You know
And
what I'm saying? But,
and like it's normal.
but
It's normal. It fits.
I do have a big gripe though. I do have a big gripe. My big gripe is I'm not down with the white uniform, man. And the white uniform was my favorite skins / Washington football team uniform, and I really feel like they dropped the ball. And I mean, the black uniform is fire. I really thought I was going to hate the black uniform. I love it. It's probably my favorite one, to be honest with you. The burgundy one is cool. I love the matte helmet. I'm kind of an old head, so I'm upset that the gold face mask is gone, but I can live with it. But the white uniform, I'm having a really hard time with it.
That's where we're going to clash because I love that. I love that uniform, bro.
Uh-oh.
I love the gradient in the numbers. I love that we're doing something different than the other 31 teams. I feel like
there's not enough gold. There's not enough
gold. It got a swoosh on it, man. It got a swoosh on it.
It would be listen, bro. It would be like if you put out a Lakers uniform that did not have any purple on it.
That's cool. It's different. It's different, bro. When you see them things on prime time with that shiny ass matte helmet, I think it's gonna be okay, man. And the burgundy is the same burgundy. I don't know why. Like, it doesn't look like the Falcons. It doesn't look like the Cardinals. It's different. It's different.
The black doesn't look like the Steelers.
The gradient is cool. I will give you that. I will give you that. The gradient is cool. I'll tell you what, my biggest issue, and I know it's nitpicky, but that's what everyone's doing, is the black outlines. If you swap out the number outline from black to gold, then we're in business.
I think
it's that simple.
They had to incorporate a black alternate uniform. They had to add black to either the home or the away jerseys because it has to be one of your main colors for it to be a colorway of uniform. I think that's why they did it. So that's probably why there's black outlines, and they're going to be mixing and matching white, black, and burgundy pants with them. But let's stop talking about uniforms, man. We are now the Washington Commanders, Commander Rio, Andy, and Freddie checking in. Let's talk podcast, man. Andy, you are all the way in the UK. How did you choose this team? What is your fan story for those people who do not know?
So for those that don't know, I spent a little bit of time in Martinsburg, West Virginia in 98, 99. And I didn't have a clue about your football then. Football to me was a round ball, what you guys called soccer. And I grew up on that. And it's one of my big passions. And the family I was staying with just one day said, hey, look, we're watching football. And I was like, football? And they went, oh, American football. I was like, oh, okay. And it was the Washington Redskins. And it was literally the season that Dan Snyder took over, 98, 99, around that time. God. I know, he had literally just taken over. I picked this. And Brad Johnson was the quarterback. And, I think in my first season being a fan, we made the playoffs. I think that's when we beat Tampa, if I'm not mistaken.
We beat Detroit and we lost to
Tampa. Detroit, that's it. Beat Detroit. Sorry, lost to Tampa. And I was thinking, hey, these are quite good, So I was going backwards and forwards to the States for a good couple of years, back to Martinsburg. Spent a lot of time there, and every time, more and more time I spent there, the more and more love I felt for American football. And now I get a lot of stick for this over here in the UK, but it's probably my main passion now. I love our soccer. You guys know I go and watch it at the weekends. I watch my local team play. I go and watch Tottenham Hotspur's plays. But my main passion that you see, you've only got to see me on social media and a podcast, is the NFL and now the Washington Commanders. It's my main passion. So to be back podcasting again is really, really good. I get to talk about something I'm very passionate about. And, a lot of people in the UK, Washington fans, we don't really have a voice. So I originally just wanted to give us a voice. And I've met so many people through the podcast world, Scott Hartley, Andy, they travel, they live like,
my guys.
Yeah, they live like 6 hours away from me. They drove down for a weekend and we all just went to a bar, got really drunk.
That's awesome.
And just talked. I'd never met them before. They checked into our hotel in my local area. We all went out. We had a great time. We're now really good friends. We're hosting the first ever UK Washington draft party. There's going to be over 100 Washington fans in Edinburgh in Scotland. me and the guy that runs NFL UK, Stuart Love, we're organising the biggest UK draft party that we have ever had. There are people coming all over from Europe, Rio. So, you guys have all been invited. If it wasn't for this damn COVID, more of you could get on a plane. Everyone is invited. So the game is growing here, Rio. So that's how my fandom started. And because of that, I get to sit here now, albeit I'm in a hotel miles away from my house, but I get to chat to you. I've met Freddie, I've met Maddie, Carl, all of them guys, Big Doug. And because of for all the negativity this football team gets, it's given me so much, Rio, man. It's unbelievable for all the bad that this football team gets, man. There's so much good as well.
Absolutely. Freddie, where do your burgundy and gold roots reside, and what is your fan story, my guy?
Man, my burgundy and gold roots go all the way back to my grandfather, man, back in the 1950s. When he moved up here from Jacksonville, Florida, he moved to Newport News, Virginia, and the Washington Redskins became his team, which became my father's team, which became my team. When I started elementary school, I went to school with a Redskins lunchbox, and the thing is, you gotta keep in mind, I was a kid going to school in the 90s, right? And
Me too.
The Redskins were not a good team at that time. We weren't a good team in the 2000s either. But I really feel like what endeared the team most to me, aside from the family, because it was very much a family thing, it was my parents, my cousins, everybody. It was so deeply rooted in your identity, when you're raised with it. And the thing is, you go to school, man, and you have your skins gear on, and you get the dead skins. You get the you guys suck, this, that. I remember one Halloween, I dressed up as a Redskins player, and one of the houses I went to was a Cowboys fan, and this dude threw candy at me. So, and the thing is, when you take that kind of abuse, that kind of persecution, if you will, I feel like it really endears you to the team, because you feel like it's something that you got to fight for, that you got to stand up for. Like, even though we've gotten to the point, and I've 30 years deep into this thing, and it really feels like, and has felt for a long time, like it's an abusive relationship. Like, I keep waiting for them to change, and they keep messing around behind my back, but like, I'm still loyal, like I'm still here, I'm the ride or die, but I mean, and the really, really cool thing is, I never dreamed in a million years that my obsession with the team would bring me in real life the relationships that I have, the relationship that I have with my co-host Andy, the friendship that I have with my former host Maddie, or even just, I mean, and you can speak on this, Rio, when we all met up at training camp last year, and we all met up and we were there and we were all creating content and we were just talking, enjoying, having a good time, and we all went out to lunch afterwards. You know what I mean? The friendships, the relationships that we have forged through football is really what makes it so special. And I'll be honest with you, I mean, yeah, the team has been up and down and really has been generally mediocre for the good part of the last 20 years, more, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this, and I will argue to the death anybody who wants to come up against me. There is something very, very special about being a fan of Washington that you don't get with other teams, regardless of whatever the product on the field is. That's just the way I feel. This team is special.
Hell yeah. And they will always be king of the DMV. And just to reflect on our time last year at training camp, the vibes were immaculate, man. You would think that we all knew each other our whole lives, because all the interactions we've had on Twitter, on the 1,000 Washington podcasts. We have a community here that's real, man. Like, I love it. We all obsess over this crazy ass football team, and as negative and toxic as it can be, we are all family at the end of the day. So it's always fun to chop it up with the fam. We are all brothers in this. So let's get to the actual shits. Quarterback. How are we figuring out how are we solving the quarterback position? What are you guys' solutions? Freddie, I'm gonna start with you. How would you fix it, and how do you think they are gonna go about fixing it?
I think the way that you fix it is that you go after a free agent quarterback. But listen, if you can get Russell Wilson here, because where there's smoke, there's fire.
Absolutely.
Right? Where there's smoke, there's bound to be fire, okay? There's something to this. I feel like if you can get Russ You absolutely get him here. And I feel like if you get him, it gives you the ability to, in the draft, maybe look at trying to snag a QB in the second round. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if we end up going down the road of trying to get like a Jimmy Garoppolo, or God forbid, I almost don't want to speak it. I don't want to speak the evil of Mitch Trubisky, because I really feel like getting Mitch Trubisky would be pointless. It's not an improvement over Taylor Heineke.
It isn't.
It's just not.
It is not
But
at all.
if we're going to get a quarterback who's available in free agency, I feel like you need to go and draft your guy in the first round, okay? And let that dude, if he's not going to start right away, which I think would be great, have it be one of those Patrick Mahomes type situations, in as far as, where you're going to let your quarterback sit and quote unquote develop before he gets into the game, just so that he doesn't have to start week 1.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Andy. Oh, no. What do you think? What do you think they're gonna do though?
I think they're going to go hard at free agency. I'm hoping they do, because we've been down the draft route before. We've seen how that worked out the last time we done it. It didn't work out too good, albeit the owner poking his nose in. I think, Rio, with the whole new name, I think if you can get a Russell Wilson in the building, that goes a long, long way to, the Commanders with a Russell Wilson. That solidifies it a little bit more, if that makes any kind of sense. If you've got someone from the draft, which we might very well go down that route, but I don't know if we will. If you get a Russell Wilson in the building, you have someone like him being the flag bearer for your brand new football team with his new name. And like I said on our show, you put him on every billboard going, you put him on every poster. He's going to be on every jersey. Your sales are going to go through the roof. He's going to be the talk of the town. He's the talk of the town still in Seattle, but I think he's kind of been there and done that. What a way to come into Washington and be the very, very first quarterback of the Washington Commanders. Now, I know Kevin Sheehan put out there, I think it was yesterday or today, that there's strong words that Russell is open to coming to Washington. And like Freddie said, maybe no smoke without fire, but Rio, you know more than me, and Freddie knows this. How many times have we been here before? How many quarterbacks have been coming to Washington, and we end up with Taylor Heineke?
All the jersey swaps.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean, how many? Aaron Rodgers has been linked for years now. Last season, I forgot how many people were linked with Washington, and we still end up with a guy from the XFL. So let's try not to get ahead of ourselves. But bro, in my opinion, we need to go as hard as we can with everything that's going on off the field. We need to go really, really hard and try and get Russell Wilson in the building.
Absolutely, because this team needs a win. Like, we have a respectable head coach. Like, this team badly needs the face of the franchise to be someone who is great on and off the field, and you can't think of a better option than Russell Wilson. This team so desperately needs a win of that magnitude, man. Like, for real. Like, press as hard as you need to. The only people on the roster that should be off limits are the 3 that debuted the new uniforms on the rollout last week. But yeah, I've heard
people this week go, "Oh, we'll give up Chase Young," and I'm like, "Are you batshit crazy?" I mean, come on.
I don't think I would give up Chase Young for Russell Wilson, but I think pre-allegations, I think I would have for Deshaun Watson, but not now. But those 3 are untouchable. You're not about to roll out a whole new brand with a guy and then trade him next week. Like, that would be that. Even for us, that would be some sloppy shit. Like, are we capable of it? Yes, we are, because we're the Washington Commanders, Redskins football team. We've had more name changes than playoff wins in my lifetime.
We've had more identities than Caitlyn Jenner. I mean, come on, man.
Here's the thing that's getting lost here on the whole Russell Wilson thing, too, that I don't think gets talked about enough. We get Russell Wilson here. He gives instant credibility to the Commanders and instant credibility at a position where we have had 0 for my entire life.
Entire life, bro.
Me too.
Yeah, man.
Entire life.
Us 3 have never seen a quarterback in Washington.
Think about that.
Oh yeah, man. And his wife Sierra, man. We're getting halftime performances and some more shit.
Rio, that would be Sierra, you and Jason Wright doing your dance at training camp.
1-2 stepping through Richmond. Hell yeah.
I'm all in for that.
Oh man, like I can't even believe how much pushback there's been on social media and amongst fans and in my YouTube comments about getting Russell Wilson. Like, we're so battered, abused, and scorned as a fan base that we can't even accept nice things when we're in the conversation to get them. Like, that shit is like, what's it gonna take? Is it gonna take
Rio,
a playoff win or two? Like, what's up, Freddie?
yo, they're all Ryan Clark burner accounts, bro. All of them. Every single one. They're all
No one
Ryan
has
Clark
burner accounts on
burners.
Twitter. What are you talking about?
Ryan Clark is a fucking I don't know what he's talking about, bro. Like I heard that yesterday and was like,
I heard
he
it.
must have made a pass at Sierra back in the day and she must have curved him or something. I don't know what to tell you, man. But before I let you guys go, other than the quarterback position, what is the biggest need you want shored up on the roster, and why is it middle linebacker? No, I'm kidding. What is the biggest need on the roster other than quarterback, and how would you go about solving it?
I would look. I think Terry needs some help. I think
Yep.
we need to look at. I mean, we had a lot of injuries this season, but
Sidefield Samuel.
Yeah, Samuel. We had so many. We bought it like, at the start of the season. We were like, wow, we've got all these players now for Ryan Fitzpatrick to go to. He gets hurt, and Antonio Brown gets hurt, and DeAndre Carter, I thought did well when he played a wide receiver. He's very underrated, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. I reckon we could utilize him a lot more next season as a receiver when he come into the slot and stuff like that. Very, very underrated player. But I think if we do, say for argument's sake, we do get a Russell Wilson, that name alone is going to attract people into Washington. Like Freddie said, that opens up. So all these people, Rio, that are on your YouTube feed, and I read a lot of the comments, all these crazy batshit people. You get Russell Wilson in the building, that opens it up to so many people coming into Washington because they're going to go, hey, I want this guy throwing me the ball. This is one of the greatest to ever do it. So I think we need some help at wide receiver. Safety, we need to look at safety, in my opinion.
Oh my God, free safety. We've been lacking ever since Sean, man.
Yeah, exactly. And how long ago? This is the problem in Washington, Rio. How we look back to RG3, we look back to Sean. You know what I mean? We have to go back so far to even remember when we were good, Rio. And us three are still sitting here talking about this team. Like you say, this team is toxic, but we're all still here. So much still needs done with this team. And like I said on our show, for me, Rio, and I don't know what you guys think, for me, this is Ron Rivera's biggest off-season ever.
Hell yeah, pivotal. Year three. You said it takes 5 years to build a culture. If the cards stack your way, it doesn't take 5. Look at the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl right now. What position are you shoring up other than quarterback, and how would you go about doing so, Freddie? You still with us, Freddie?
He's in that much of a shock. He's had to pull over.
I believe he's in the bunker right now. But speaking of the bunker, how'd you come up with the name The Bunker for the podcast?
I got to give kudos to Shelly. She, when we were originally kicking around names for the
shout out to Shelly. Yeah. We miss you, Shelly.
Shout out to my girl Shelly. I speak to her still every day. A lot of people have messaged me going, "Where's Shelly?" I'm like, we haven't had a falling out. We talk every day. She's got her values, and the team aren't meeting them right now. So she's decided not to podcast and stuff like that. But yeah, when we found out that it possibly would be Commander, Shelly's like, "Hey, let's call the podcast The Bunker," and I loved it straight away. Mm-hmm. So, and then obviously when Shelly decided not to do it, me, Freddie had a chat. HTR had finished. DC Tweet Team, like I said, it's like if HTR and DC Tweet Team had a baby, The Bunker's born, and here we are. We've done one episode, and that's how it all started, my man. And we're just getting started.
Yep, and shout out to my guy Maurice Hawkins over there, still holding it down for the DC Tweet Team. Hawk Diesel, my guy, he's trying to get the Black Ops, the stealth thing going with the team, man. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the new, and if we could pull off getting someone like a Russell Wilson or someone, this year is going to be like the most exciting time to be a fan at a franchise. And Freddie is back out of the bunker. What position are you showing up other than quarterback, and how are you doing it, my good sir?
Middle linebacker. I'm taking the easy way right here, okay? And I hate that we have to still be talking about little middle linebacker after this past season. And the way that we're going to shore that up is, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to trade for Bobby Wagner too. Fuck it.
So we're gonna go crazy. We're gonna get Russ
Wow.
in. We're gonna take the captain
This
of
is what
their
we're gonna do.
offense in their defense.
This is what we do. We trade everything away to get Russell Wilson, and then we can trade Sierra to get Bobby Wagner.
Damn, we're breaking up a family to get the team right. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right?
No, welcome to Washington.
No,
The Washington Homewreckers.
it pains me.
Washington.
It pains me so much that JOK was available, man.
Yeah, he was, man, and I was wrong. I was wrong, and
No,
we were.
Yes.
Everyone was wrong.
Everybody was wrong. Jamin is a weak side linebacker, and I'm excited to see what he can turn into in year 2. But as a Mike, a true middle linebacker, we ain't got that on the roster right now.
I will say this too, though, and this something I've been thinking a lot about, and I don't know how much everyone else has been thinking about it. Cornerback, a number one corner, a true number one corner. Do we really have that? And have we had that?
We paying William Jackson to be one, but you know what I'm saying?
We're paying him number one corner money, but oh man.
Yeah, he got to be sick too. He chose Washington,
Yes.
and the Bengals are in the Super Bowl.
I know, right? He's probably thinking,
100%.
what the hell?
My position, I don't think they're going to let him out of there, but if free safety from the Cincinnati Bengals, Jesse Bates, hits the market, I'm sending him all of the monies because that guy is outstanding. The perfect prototype center field free safety that we just refuse to have on this roster since the tragic loss of our guy 21. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing free safety because we need to pair.
We've got a lot of cap space this year, Rio. We've got so much money to spend.
We got money, and we can't take it home with us, man. We got to spend that money, and we cannot dump 18, 19 million of it on the guard. What do y'all feel about the sheriff situation?
No, let that dude go, man. I don't want to see him in the Commander's uniform.
Let him go ice water fishing across the country somewhere, man.
Goodbye.
Yeah, it was good while it lasted, man.
Yeah, no one's bigger than the team, man.
It's been good.
What's keep safe? Thank you for your service.
Exactly. Salute to my fellow comrade on his way out the building. But I appreciate you guys for taking the time to chop it up with me. And I love what you guys are doing. You guys' first episode of The Bunker started this week. Go ahead and let people know where to find you and your handles, all that good stuff, and we can check out as Commanders.
So you can find us at Commander Bunker on Twitter. I believe Freddie has been brilliant with that. He's done all the intros. My good friend Scott done the logo. So yeah, at Commander Bunker on Twitter. I'm still at Washington FC UK1. I didn't want to change it to at Commander something. I'm getting confused to hell by all these people that are changing it to at Commander. Too. I don't know who I'm messaging. I've messaged wrong people and everything. So yeah, I'm at Washington UK1 or something like that on Twitter. Everyone knows what I am anyway. But yeah, shows are going to drop every Monday, Rio, while the season's not on. Once the season's back, we might rejig it a bit. But honestly, I'm absolutely privileged. Freddie's become one of my closest friends. We talk all the time, and not just about Washington football. He does forget sometimes that I'm in the UK, so he'll ring me at random o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, wanting to talk about British music. Hey, I'll answer my phone. You know, he'll call me up at a random time. But it's honestly, I'm truly, truly honoured to do a podcast with Freddie. I know the relationship that he had with Maddie Jane, and honestly, the HTBR meant so much to me. So for me to be doing the bunker now and getting just to sit down every week and talk Washington Commanders football is truly a blessing, man. So I'm truly honoured to be with him.
Absolutely. Freddie Hamm, sign us out.
Yeah. No, it's the pleasure and the honor is all mine. I mean, to me, you know, Andy's one of the most important voices, and I don't say that lightly. His voice is so important to be the bridge, and that's the name bestowed upon him by the Podfather. Shout out to Kyle Ronick. You know, to bring everybody together, the fans across the pond, the fans here in the States. Andy is such a special and an important individual. So really the pleasure is all mine, and I really am honored to be doing the show with them. And please make sure that you listen, that you subscribe, leave a review. You can find us, as Andy said, on Twitter at Commander Bunker. You can find us on Instagram. We're on all podcasting platforms. all of them. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, everywhere that you can listen to podcasts, and you can join in the conversation with us every week on social media using the hashtag #BunkerDown. That's hashtag #BunkerDown, and join us in the bunker where you're safe from all of the Washington media, Twitter bombs, and all the craziness out there. Remember, you're always safe in the bunker with Andy and Freddie.
Oh, I love it. I love it. What a great goddamn sign off, man. I love it. We are now the Commanders. Y'all know where to find me, Rio_Robinson91. Follow at WFT on the daily on Instagram because today's episode was brought to you by them. Until next time, salute to the Washington Commanders. And we're going to envision that Freddie's saluting right now. Until next time, deuces. Appreciate y'all for coming on.
Anytime, Rio.